Not alone today. I'm super excited to be joined by a male co-host. I haven't had a male co-host for some time. Welcome to Lunchtime Chat.
Thank you very much, Taisia. A good afternoon to you, and of course, I hope the afternoon is treating you well.
It is.
I can see.
Yeah.
The smile says it all, that she's having a good time. And of course, a good afternoon to you, our dear listeners. I hope you're also having a good time, and of course, you're going to enjoy this particular show.
You wanted me to introduce you seriously. You wanted me to introduce you seriously.
Come on.
On lunchtime, when you're supposed to. Is it because you don't want the ladies out there to know that you're the one who's buying lunch for me today?
Come on, Taisia. Don't put me on the limelight. Okay, lunch on me. Don't worry.
All right.
Bills on me. It's already lunchtime, so bills on me.
All right.
Don't worry.
There you have it, viewers. My co-host Andrew says bill is on him. Today is lunch. I love the weather today. And he says today's lunch, the bill is on him. But getting into our topic of discussion this afternoon, we are looking at the unruly behavior of Chingola residents or Chiwempala residents, because they're coming from Chingola. Chiwempala is in Chingola, that's on the Copper Belt, and that is what we are looking at on Lunchtime Chat. And we're asking, what next? That unruly behavior. How can we avoid such type of a behavior going forward? Were they in order? Andrew, before I even show the videos, but do you think they were in order to just do that?
I think, in all honesty, Taisia, that behavior is something that needs to be not tolerated. In that, what I feel is that respect is supposed to be given to the office and not to the person who is holding that office. Yeah. Remember, that office, the current president, His Excellency, Mr. Hakainde Hichilema, is holding that office, not as the first one, neither will he be the last one. So we're saying that this should be the trend. So just being blatantly clear on that one, those youths were not in order. Of course, there is also another side of the coin where we would look at, okay, what are some of the things that might have led to that? What are some of the things that we need to pick up from there? What are the lessons that the government, the public, and every other person needs to learn from all that? And that is what we are going to discuss right here, as you just get to continue following us.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I think just to add on what you said, such type of a behavior, even if you know, I think for some time, just this year, we've seen a number of riots. Not long ago, there was that issue of them protesting about the mines. You know, that's where we have the Sincerely mine. That's and the time that they saw the president, some of them were even saying Sincerely.
Exactly.
In the background.
Cheering up.
Yes. And just to behave like that, where do you even get the audacity to pick a stone? You even know that the head of state is speaking. You pick a stone. And even if you have issues, you want to air your grievances, at least respect is very, very important.
Very important.
Very.
Following the channel, Taisia, is what is going to stand out the most. You know, just like I said, that is the highest office of the land. So now, if disrespect can reach to those extents in that particular behavior, what happens to an ordinary citizen? When we have seen what was going on, that is the head of state, stones being directed at him, that was not okay. This has caused, it has sparked a lot of reactions. People have reacted differently. The opposition has reacted differently. Even the ruling party, they've issued statements. Others, let me just say, condemning in different ways. But of course, those are some of the things that we're going to delve in. We're going to even show you some of the clips where we're going to see some of the reactions that are coming out. But again, this should also be a wake-up call, Taisia. You know, when something happens, we need to pick lessons. Yeah. What lessons should we pick from here? Our advance party for the head of state, they needed to have had the information. You know, even
on
if
the ground, yes.
Yeah, maybe the excuse might be that, okay, these guys did not have this planned ahead of that event. They just became agitated right there and then, of which I might receive with a little bit of some skepticism. But I think even just within there, for someone to advance with a stone reaching the podium where the president
like
is.
how was the security? How
Imagine.
tight was security in such?
You can imagine. So those are some of the issues that we need to pick, and of course we also need to pick on the aspect of public relations. You know, when something like this happens, this is where, you know, okay, it has happened, let us admit, but how then do we manage this crisis? I think the UPND's media team, this is where now they need to sit down, introspect. How are we then going to go around this crisis that has happened? And like today we hear this statement, tomorrow another statement, it distorts the whole thing. And once your information is not clear, you're going to leave room for speculation. And once there is room for speculation, anyone comprehends information differently. You and I, Taizia, we might receive the same information, and we're going to retell it differently because we are thinking differently. So I think this is a wake-up call. As a nation, we need to invest much over our time in knowing, say, okay, here is where we're going. What do the people want? So that when we go there, we know to say, okay, we have to shoot in that direction, not just shooting in the air. But all in all, that wasn't a good behavior from the youths.
Not at all. Not
I wouldn't support that.
I'm a youth, and I don't think I would even allow any of my relatives to be found in such a situation.
Neither would I.
To be arrested that you were
stoning the president?
Stoning the president.
Not
Where
just
do
any
you
other
get
person.
the powers?
The president.
Chingola, even if you are so unruly. Yes, we know that Copper Belt quadriflama durable. That we know. That there are durables on the Copper Belt. But I think boundaries. Yeah,
they're supposed to be set.
You need to know your boundaries. You need to know how to go about saying certain things, how to go about airing your grievances. Not just waking up at Bala Trishiba. How? But in case you also missed this particular clip where we saw our president cutting short his speech as he was addressing some residents in Chiwempala. And don't forget that there was also another incident earlier than that where marketeers lost most of their goods because of the fire that gutted the market. So let's have a look at this particular clip when the president was addressing the residents in Chiwempala.
When we saw the fire happening, we were very, very distraught. We are very sorry to all those who are trading here, who have lost their stores, who have lost their merchandise, who have lost money here. We are sorry about that. That's why we're here to find a solution to the fire that took place here. Ichalenga titwise kuno twali kuntikirwa n'obulanda pakumuno kweba market ya piano omuliro inenga kateka wenu na titintanda leke Copper Belt kamfike kuli ichichiriro umboneko nala abo abana.
was very, very sad. I know other people were even, have started making memes of such. And there was also that other man in the background asking, Nishi, kulia mabwe?
Mabwe.
Mabwe, Nishi, mabwe.
And
then,
all those things are just showing us, just like I said, because just as I'm from watching this particular clip again, I just picked another lesson. Taizia, I think we also need to invest a lot in the security for our president. If we can have an incident where that is involving stones being directed at the presidential podium, and the only way to protect the president is someone lifting a chair. So what if, God forbid, there were guns that side? What would have happened? How would we have protected our president? This issue of us as a country just being reactive should come to an end. We need to be thinking outside the box. The world is advancing. So even our advance party for our VIPs should start advancing bit by bit so that we can attain to a level where that is befitting the head of state. That is something that is very disturbing. That is something that no one would, take pleasure in looking at, because, tomorrow it is going to be another person holding that office. And, this is one trend that we need to cut off. It all started when the late former president, Edgar Chagwa was booed in the National Heroes Stadium. And that is also another video that is circulating on social media, where some of the people were heroizing the people who booed the former head of state. Other people were saying good things, say no, he deserved it, and all that. But what we need to know is that we need to respect our leaders, regardless of how agitated we might be. We need to respect them. And also, this is my message to our leaders. When something happens, please, let's make sure that, we're in a digital world. What we are saying right now, Taiza, can be put out 10 years from now. But
so you need to be mindful of what you
need to be very mindful,
because one day you'll be in that position.
Exactly. So you need to be very mindful.
I knew you were getting to there. Director, I don't know, just to hold you. Director, if at all we have a clip of our current president also speaking to issues to do with how you treat heads of state, and in reference to the former head of state, may he so rest in peace, Edgar Chagwa. And we saw our very own, the current president, who also said something in regards to Boeing and what happened that time when it was the late 60th Republican president in power. So if you have that clip, when that clip is ready, you can definitely tell us so that we can just also have, allow our viewers to have a look at that particular clip. Yes.
Yes, most definitely. So as I was saying, Taizia, we're in a digital world. Cameras are rolling everywhere. Almost, let me just, not just almost, but in every household, there's a camera. So in every street, there's a camera. And these people gets to back up their documents and all that. So it will be put. It would be put out. So we need to be very economical with what we say, because we know that we're humans. Today, our interests might shift. So being mindful of that, we need to be very economical with the words that we say, especially on the camera, because, it has happened now. What is it that we're saying? Let's look at all those people who were celebrating that it happened like that to the former 60th Republican president. May his soul continue resting in peace. Now that it has happened to the current government, and of course even to a very extreme extent.
I think
extreme extent, because this time now it was the head of state's life being in danger.
Being at risk. Yeah.
So let's be very mindful. That goes to the leaders. Be very, very mindful. And the other thing is that, it has become more like a trend. We always complain to say the people who surround our leaders do not tell the truth. Maybe it could be that they have a bias towards maybe Taizia is my boss. If I went and told Taizia that Taisia, things are not like this. She will not give me the money that she gives me, or will not benefit as much as I do benefit.
I disagree with that. I don't think so. You earlier mentioned that the world is evolving. We have internet, we have social media. Unless if you say the president is not on social media, because I know in as much as there's a person who's managing his page, but from time to time, he would also want to see the same way he was able to see what was happening in the country before he became president. I feel it should be the same way he's monitoring what is happening in the country now that he's a leader. So what people say that probably they're advising him wrong things. No, the president lives here in Zambia. Unless if we're dealing with a president who does not live in Zambia.
Okay.
We live with our president in Zambia. And everything... Social media has made life easy. Yeah, social media, we have a lot of media houses to give the president information. That's why he hired other people to give him the right information. But when you feel that the people are not giving you the right information, what do? Do you still sit and wait for them to give you wrong information?
No, because he's just like you have said, he's the appointing authority, can equally disappoint. The power to appoint and disappoint still lies with him. So hearing what the people on the ground are saying is very cardinal. And for people to have gathered enough courage, it takes a lot of courage to throw a stone. And this time we are talking about throwing a stone at the head of state. Throwing a stone, not in any other direction, but directing it at the head of state. It takes a lot. It takes a lot of agitation, it takes a lot of courage. So I think right now what our leaders need to look at is that, okay, what agitated our people? What information do they need? Or what do we do as of now? That has already happened. What then do we do? We've seen a lot of reactions. I saw one other reaction from a certain aspiring member of parliament by the name of Mr. Regan Kashinga, who was also saying that he's pushing for the firing of Honorable Paul Kabuswe, the likes of Honorable Chipoka Mulenga, the likes of Honorable Elisha Matambo. Because according to what others are feeling, because even on the breakfast show today, people are suggesting that these people should be fired on the account that they did not provide the president with the information that was obtaining on the ground. So we're going to see what this is going to yield. Of course, are we going to see some reshuffles? Are we going to see some disappointments after the appointments? All those things we're just looking forward to.
But again, I think that still goes to the president, because this issue of just firing somebody because others have said just fire them, perhaps this person did not do his job, is that how the president is feeling? Because you can fire somebody not knowing that the person you've hired is the one who's working with the same youths. Because in this case, we're looking at youths who are being used. And I've said it time and again. I've had a number of times when I've invited youths themselves to speak. And I've asked, why is that most of the times young people want to be used as tools of violence? Because imagine waking up. Do you think they would take you serious when they know you to be so unruly?
No, they
unruly.
They wouldn't.
No, they wouldn't take you serious.
And the other thing, good that you've brought up this topic, you'd never see any of these people who are alleged to be using the youths, you never see their relative at the battlefield. You will never. So they give you a certain task to say, go and harm your brother. Bembas say that atikapata mkaya umweni akaya. Today I might be given something because I'm energetic to say, go and destroy Taiza's image. Then tomorrow, the person who gave me that 50 kwacha, that 100 kwacha, to come and destroy the relationship between me and Taisia leaves. Then it is me and Taisia now. Then one day I'm lacking what Taisia is capable of giving me. Where do I go? So we need to understand that in these communities, do not turn against someone on the basis of a bribe or on the basis of anything that you are given and all that. Peace matters the most. Unity of purpose matters the most. And most importantly, when aggrieved, dialogue should always be the resolution that we should, the position that we should take. Okay, stones were thrown.
Vamposa Mawe. You
Then
know,
what?
now I've even remembered. You've been Kukopa Belt, eh?
Yes, I've
Kwali
actually,
Bailia.
I'm actually a
Mposa
cover
Mawe.
belt person, yes.
Yes, Mposa Mawe.
Yes.
You've been there.
Yeah, that is in Kitu.
Yes. So I wanted to find out what was running through their minds. What was running through their minds? Is it because in the Copper Belt we have Mposa Mawe? Or where did they get this whole thing at Tien Tuambio Kumutola Mawe? Tien Tuambio Kuposa Mawe. Ukwabla Noktina. So now what happens? Because again, I think this should also set as a lesson to those who would think of doing the same.
Exactly.
Whoever has been caught, I think, should set as an example, and that person should give reasons. So what if they hurt the president? Imagine if one of those stones they were throwing, what if it hit the president?
What would we be discussing right now?
Yes.
So that is, and you know the issue of them throwing stones.
Yeah.
Stones were thrown. Oh, we are grieved. Or the things that we
Poverty,
want. Exactly. So did those stones return with answers? That is the question that you need to ask yourself. Violence doesn't do anything. You know, when there's violence, we're also looking at a police vehicle being destroyed.
Yeah.
Let's talk about police patrols. What if you, as the perpetrator of that same violence, or you, as the person who set that vehicle ablaze, you need the services of the police, and then they tell you that they don't have a vehicle, or maybe you raise an alarm and then the police take long to reach you because they do not have the necessary logistics because their vehicle was bent. We need to understand that that is taxpayers' money. You and I, we are taxpayers, and those things are bought by us and they have to work for us. Now, if we start causing destruction to property, it is us who are doing ourselves a disservice. I'll say this again. That is not something that I would take pleasure in, or that I would look at or handle with baby gloves. No, I wouldn't.
I'm just imagining if you were probably the one in charge, the Inspector General of Police. I'm just thinking of what you would be doing right now, or what would be happening right now. But anyways, you can also give us a call now. We can start receiving your calls, your contributions on what you think about that behavior. Do you think throwing stones was the only way for them to air their grievances? If at all they're not happy with how things are being done or issues in Senseli, was it the right way of just airing their grievances? And what next? After that, what next? What should we see happening next going forward as we get to discuss this? And also the issue of young people being used, in most cases, being used to just cause violence. Is it the way things should be done? Should young people be used for such? Because I'm sure you wouldn't find an adult throwing a stone.
You wouldn't.
No ways. You wouldn't find an adult. And what was so shocking is the fact that the president had even said, them, I don't know whether they had to say number to
Yeah, I'm sure that statement the president made was before he realized that they had turned violent.
Yeah.
Actually,
Right.
yes. Okay, we have a caller.
Let's try to pick up a call. You are through to Lunchtime Chat. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Your name and where are you calling us from?
My name is Shira and I'm calling from Chongwe.
From Chongwe. Okay. What's your comment on that behavior which was portrayed by people from Chiwempala?
I would say they didn't show respect for our president.
Yes, we're getting you.
All right, the thing is, this person might be, it's a situation where you want to hear yourself,
from TV.
What you're saying as well, whether you're saying the right things or you've made a mistake here and there. But anyways, would love to get your views as well. What do you think about that behavior? If you are a father, imagine you're a father and then you discover that your child did such a thing. Yes, I think this also goes back to parenting. times. I think it goes back to how you raise a child. Yeah.
You know, how you raise a child is easier. You know, but again, you know, we have a lot of parents. We know this is a little bit off, but we have a lot of parents who are doing the most and a lot to make sure that their children grow in the best moral standards. But the other thing is that we're now more like we're in a global village whereby a child can access information at any time and anyhow, and they can use it anyhow they want. So I think parenting we should just blame them partially, not entirely or fully, because information.
Or then we should blame the community, because the community is minding their own businesses now. Let's also allow another caller. You are through to lunchtime chat. Good afternoon.
Tuwamba febwe ndo balishan. Kwa ni TV na bafo.
Mkwai.
Kwenda kwa ndipalili ya shida ya kuchingolo ku.
Mkwai.
Mendo barabali rufyanya. Ali rufyanya mwenda kwa bati. Ngapaliki ndifire efe mrefu waya. Ngire mwafirumbira munjire isuma donti muri renjira babo mfishe jaye na awe. Wanu musiranya mchalo. Zambia the Christian nation. No zishitya musango filia. Tachimoneka bwino. Mafunya nama videos ukwe bati. Katika tule muchitefu. Watu mo ama MPs na ma councillors. Sure afi mwanti bakwalesa. Bafyo wasalamu bakwelera oke bakwelera vile barazi bakateka tyo bali kya bali ke. Twati pokerelecho. Ero kuti mselu kwenye video ati katika tule muchitefu ya. Watu mo ma councillors. Which means not can show mkweli. Yo gave ya taifa ika. Efe yaba malebozi ni sofinde. Hapo kuna tikateka upo watati ndeba titafiria watu mo mwirana. Efo wamba mwa malebozi ifyafiri peta tulifamu Zambia hivyo hiyo. Vile tambako na mshero vyaba nesu kwa bati shiongo fyamba shani. So isi yaba fyashi badi pundo kwa chaba na velele ni ya badi kindiwaichi. Indiro moko bati Fwa aba fyashi badi mayanda ne bandi na ipo fweba na tureke ya behavior. Batukeza podati omuteko bulipo na buli bwino. Tufundeni tureke ya behavior. Na tureko esi tsaromba mubuso maikulanda kwa ndine mkwai.
All right, thank you very much for coming through. Very valid points he has raised there, because that is a threat to national security, Taizia. When we look at how these things get to flow, you're going to find that no, it becomes a trend. By the time we realize it, we will not have the peace that we're enjoying. So we should definitely condemn that behavior. I think we have another caller on the line.
Yeah. You are through to lunchtime chat. Good afternoon. You are through to lunchtime chat. Good afternoon. Hello.
Please, people, when you call the station, make sure that we are interacting phone by phone. Let's not involve the TV, because technology is not going to allow us to have a conversation like that. So the number is on your screen. You can dial that number, get to tell us your thoughts over what transpired in Chingola. Of course, we're talking about the riotous behavior by the youths.
Okay, let's allow another caller. You are through to lunchtime chat. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon to you.
Your name and where are you calling us from?
This is Golden Mwema calling from Chavuma district, Northwestern Province.
Okay, you can go ahead, Mr. Golden.
Golden Mwema.
You can go ahead, sir.
Yes, please. To me, I think that behavior, especially that behavior has not been good. The problem is that when you become too harsh, when one becomes too harsh, one would be considered to be a lunatic, mad. When one becomes too soft, when you become too cool, you'll be considered to be a fool, something like that. So softness everything must have a limit. There must be a limit to everything. I think we are too soft.
Okay.
The government is too soft. UPN is too soft. Those people needed to be hammered. They needed to be pressed. Yes, to teach a lesson so that the would-be offenders don't get through next time.
That the issue of saying, no, those are juveniles, no, those just let them know. I think I'm against that one. Let them be punished. Thank you very much. Good afternoon.
All right, thank you so very much. Stiffer punishment for them.
Stiffer punishment. That's vale kenvaiche. Vala kudla. But anyways, let's also read a statement. We'll continue picking up your calls. There was also a statement which was issued by Mr. Ray Hamonga, and this one says, riot and arson, that was in Chingola district. So the Zambia Police Service wishes to inform the general public that a serious incident of riot and arson occurred in Chingola district. That was on 8th November 2025 around 14:50 hours at Chiwempala Market and Chikola Secondary Grounds. Chingola Central Police Station received a report of arson from Superintendent Lloyd Kanondo, aged 48, a police officer based at a Copper Belt Division headquarters, reported that a police motor vehicle, a white Toyota Land Cruiser registration number, was bent. An irate mob that turned rioters during the presidential visit. Now, brief facts are that the district earlier in the day received the Republican president, His Excellency Hakainde Hichilema, who was addressing residents at Chiwempala Market at around 14 hours. As the president was still addressing the public, some unruly individuals began breaking into and looting shops. When police officers moved in to contain the situation, the crowd became violent and started charging towards the venue where the president was speaking. For security reasons, the president was safely whisked away and escorted to the landing pad at Chikola Secondary School grounds, which was very, very sad and very, very unfortunate. Hence the reason why we decided to play you that clip. We'll also have a look at another clip. Director, if you can just play for us as we continue to receive text messages and calls from our viewers out there. What next? What do you think needs to be done to just those young people or youths who were throwing stones at the head of state? Let's have a look at this clip.
President Kaunda was born in 1990. I was in the Independence Stadium then. President Kaunda entered, there was a football game there. He usually used to attend football games, international games, and he would play the first ball, right? Yes. When he entered this convoy, he was bold like never before. He was pelted with oranges, pelted with lemons, pelted with bananas. The decent Kaunda, KK, did not beat anybody. He stayed in the match. He didn't call anyone name. President, when you are not performing or you get booed, Mr. Lungu, you'll be booed more and more. When he entered this convoy, he was bold like never before. He was pelted with oranges, pelted with lemons, pelted with bananas. The decent Kaunda, KK, did not beat anybody. He stayed in the match. He didn't call anyone name. President, when you are not performing or you get booed, Mr. Lungu, you'll be booed more and more as we go to 2021. President.
So that was the now president, but at that time he was in opposition, and that was his comment in regards to booing. And yeah.
Exactly. So just like we were saying, be very economical with what you say. Yeah. So I'm just looking at another article that was published by Honorable Emmanuel Sampa. Honorable Mao Sampa. I almost said, I said Emmanuel Sampa, but it's Honorable Mao Sampa. Yeah. So it said, and I quote, "In 1990, as a little boy, I was inside the Independence Stadium for the Zambia national football team international match. Their nickname then was KK11, being the head of state, Kenneth Kaunda's initial. Now, KK always watched their matches and would arrive in style, drive inside the stadium running track to the VVIP grandstand. Now, from the entrance gate, turning right would have been a 1-minute drive to the VVIP pavilion. Now, he, however, always opted for the left turn, longer route round the entire track, much to the huge cheers from the packed stadium. Now, on this fateful day, his motorcade did not use the usual left turn into the stadium. However, instead of the usual cheering welcome that I witnessed in all the previous matches, fans began to boo and pelt his entourage with oranges and other objects. At the then notorious Get D area, the Oranges ran for got worse, and his Benz had to swerve towards the playing field and stop a bit until got shielded by police vehicles. The following year, in 1991, he lost elections to FTJ of the MMD. It further reads, how you use this piece of history is up to you. So this is a statement that was published by Honorable Mao Sampa. Comparisons being given there, you need to be very economical with what we say. I think we have a caller.
Be mindful, in short.
Very much.
Be mindful as you speak. First, think through. You are through to Lunchtime Chat. Good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon.
Your name, sir, and where are you calling us from?
This is Ruben calling from Mambo.
From Mambwe. You can go ahead with your contribution, sir.
Yes. First, like everyone has said, and you have mentioned it, that what happened in Chingora wasn't good. The behavior of the youth wasn't all that good. It should be condemned by a well-meaning Zambian. But what I can say to the people in power is to look at maybe what is it that could have compelled the youth to act or behave in that way. That should be the point that they should look at. Not to concentrate on the issue of PR, where everyone wants to talk without critically sitting down and finding the solution to what caused the youth to behave in that manner. Sometimes the other gentleman there used some Bemba saying, I also used to. Sometimes members say, umushi wa mkali upya kumbali. Umushi wa mkali upya kumbali. I'm sure there is a gentleman who knows he can interpret.
You know that?
Thank you very much.
Maybe if you can also just interpret that for our viewers watching, what you mean.
What it means, Taiza, is sometimes I'll give an example. You're a village gentleman, and then you are just always on your subordinates, not trying to listen to them, no sit down with them. Then when at night you are sleeping, you don't know what they are planning. You don't know. Until one day things just happen. Thank you.
All right, thank you very much for also simplifying and trying to translate what that meant. Yeah.
And of course, he has also brought out another issue where we need to look at, okay, what caused the youths to behave the way they behaved. That's what I even said in my preamble. You know, we need to look at these guys, and ears of our leaders should be on the ground. No wonder we're talking about decentralizations. We have councillors, we have MPs, we have ministers. They are all supposed to be gathering information. We have the OP, we have the district commissioners. They need to now start looking into it. What caused this? Okay, now that they've established, okay, this is where the problem started from. What should we do? And now what is the way forward? That is the sequence of how things are supposed to be done at this particular moment.
Do you think it's a matter of just announcing that, be it maybe someone who relates well to the young people? I'll give an example of maybe Gilbert Liswaniso. Because of his position. He's a youth spokesperson. And maybe he goes there and speaks to them, takes note of what issues they're going through.
That's a valid point as well.
Maybe if we can start from there.
That's a valid point.
And then go around, not just in Chingola, or Chiwempala. Chiwempala is not the whole Zambia.
Exactly.
We have youths from different provinces, different districts. So if maybe this is a wake-up call, if maybe they can start going around, speaking to these people, finding out, so that even when someone is going there, someone understands, say, the people I'm going to see, this is the issue. And you even tell them, I'm coming to address this particular issue.
Prior to you even
Yes.
going there. And I
Yes.
think towards that, you know, this is the reason why the parties have got structures. We're talking about the district, the constituency, the ward, now even to the branches. They need to come down. They need to come and sit down as a branch. They discuss from the branch to the ward level, from the ward level to the constituency, from the constituency now to the district level, so that they get to understand what is it when we go in this area, what is it that people want. Because mind you, Taisia, the needs that the people of the Copper Belt have might not meet the needs of the people who, us, like who are here in Lusaka. No wonder it is very important and very paramount to understand what is it that is obtaining on the ground. And it can be realized through these structures without even making the National Youth Chairman moving. They can just issue directives. Or this word, make sure that you find out this and that. Gather some intelligence information, forward it to the constituency. The constituency will forward it to the district until, before we realize, it has already reached its final destination, which is Lusaka or the provincial headquarters, and they will be there to make a very, very valid decision.
Okay. Let's also read a few text messages. In case you decide to drop a text message, you can do that as well. We would love to get your views. I would really love to just speak to a youth. It's unfortunate. Today we're supposed to have a youth, but something came up. He had an emergency. I think it's something to do with the same youth, so they are meeting one of these officials just to discuss a few things. So this text message says, these children need to respect themselves. It is not good what they did. Parents need to advise and try to counsel them. The president need to be respected totally. He is father of the nation. This came through from Maboshe all the way from Livingston.
Okay, a very interesting one there.
This other text says, the behavior was not good because this is our president for the whole country. He is at State House for all Zambians, so should be respected. It came through from a senior citizen. We pick up another call and we also try to speak to former Chiwempala MP. You're through to lunchtime chat. Good afternoon. Reduce the volume on your TV set.
Good afternoon, madam.
Your name and where are you calling from?
I'm coming from Lusaka.
Okay.
Your name, please?
My name is Amon.
Mr. Amon, you can go ahead.
Okay. Abakutipata wanda chaona muzako mawa chilipaliwe. Mwamva.
Emkwai.
Mwamva vanda bakutipata.
Emkwai tulemfa.
Na muzako mawa chilipaliwe. Ediga lungu bali muchikireto fine. Rupia banda bali muwerere. Rupia banda bali mugwenyere. Ediga lungu kaunda naenda fichifire shupa. Ministry ya Zambia fichitikanga uleya. Mwamva.
Okay.
Fichitikanga ulimupe pinoko fichitike iringi sana. Okay, na tokela.
All right, thank you so very much for coming through.
Bena balanda byatu ate history ya Zambia
tingaule.
But nomba ini sharp sana konga fichitikela, because if he's saying fichitikanga ule bale bawela fi abale.
Yeah, and this time we talk about stones being thrown. That is put endangering the life. At least, you know, just verbal attacks. We cannot compare verbal attacks to what happened that side. So you, the dear viewer, you can equally call us. You can actually share with us what your views are on the issue at hand as we continue on the lunchtime chat, as we continue looking at the behavior of the youths, of course, emanating from what just transpired over the weekend in Chiwempala, where youths became unruly, riotous, and started throwing stones at in the direction of the president. You can call us, you can text us, or you can actually go on Facebook and give us a comment.
All right, let's also speak to former MP, Honorable Ponde Macha. Good afternoon. Thank you for joining us via phone call on lunchtime chat. We saw you also issued a statement where you are requesting the president to hear the cries of the Chiwempala market traders, as well as what happened in Chiwempala. Your take on this? Honorable, hello? Good afternoon, yes.
And thanks for accommodating me on this program.
Okay.
Firstly, I need to state that what happened in Chiwempala was very unfortunate. That was not good for the nation. We are known as a peace-loving nation, and there is need for us to sustain that kind of status for which we are known. Indeed, I've appealed to the president to listen to the cries of the marketeers at Chiwempala. There was a clip circulating where they publicly made an apology. I think that is the way to go. Our people of Chiwempala market, they are remorsive over what happened. They feel for the president. They also feel for their fellow Zambians. It was quite embarrassing. But that aside, our president is the father of the nation. The president has a listening ear, and he should not be moved by what happened. Indeed, I've encouraged him to get back to Chiwempala, if possible, because the traders, the affected traders, are definitely not the ones that caused that commotion. It's completely different people. Our people, our traders at Chiwempala are affected, most of whom have lost their only livelihood. You know, if you are feeding your children off trading and you lose all you had, it's so sad. It's so sad. So the president was quite empathetic with their situation. He made an effort to go there so that he could interact with them, but he was disrupted, unfortunately.
But the question is, do you think now is a time for him to go back again to Chiwempala? Or what needs to be done? Because what if he finds again the same unruly youths behaving the same way they behaved? What should be the way forward? What do we need to start with? Should the president just go ahead and meet the people he had gone to meet, or rather we should now start looking at him having a way of just meeting the very young people, or rather speaking to the very young people in one way or the other?
Taizi, I can assure you what happened there is not a security threat. It was just a cadre of disgruntled youths. Probably they were trying to settle their scores with other people other than the president. So what the president needs to do, he is the commander-in-chief. Let him just enforce security. If indeed certain sections of society feel it's a threat to his life, the security can always be reinforced. But what is important again is for us to conscientize the youth. There are always better ways of airing our grievances and not violence. The president has always been open to dialoguing. If you heard him clearly, even as he was trying to address the people of Chiwempala, he was calling for dialogue and asking them if they had grievances. He was ready to talk. So probably this is the best time for him to go back, because the affected people are still affected and they need his help. He needs to go and honor his pledge so that the people can start doing something as they work on the stores that were banned. So for me, really, it's something that our security wings can deal with. But what is important now is for the president to go back and interact with the affected people. They are still affected. They need his help. He is their father.
Okay. You are a former member of parliament. What would be your advice to a member of parliament representing the people from Copperbelt? Or, yeah, what would be your message to any member of parliament when it comes to just speaking to his constituents? Because most of the times you hear people complaining that once a person is voted in power, then they forget about the people who voted. Could it be a reason why we're seeing such unruly behavior?
Apparently, we have a lot of youths in Zambia. They are more than the adults. So it's a constituency on its own. So as a representative of the people, a representative of a specific constituency, you need to get involved in engaging the youth. We need to help them change their mindset. We know that youth are always used as pawns to try and cause trouble. I think we need to change the direction. As leaders, we need to be there for them, guide them. There are so many opportunities for the youth. What is happening on the Copper Belt is not good for the nation. People should not just depend on mining. We need to diversify. And the opportunities are there for the youth to do other things, not just illegal things that they want to get involved in. So being MPs are alive to the opportunities that the youths can tap into. So it's always important that an MP engages with the youth so that he can alert them to various opportunities that they can tap in. That way will reduce the kind of situation we are going into. So engagement, youth engagement is very, very important. They need to develop an approach that can work in specific constituencies. It's not one size fits all. We can always find mechanisms to try and engage the youth. Okay. But what is important, Taisia, is that the youth must know various opportunities that are at their disposal. And the MP is best suited to actually discuss such opportunities and help the youth access empowerment funds.
Okay. Good afternoon, Honorable.
Good afternoon.
Good afternoon, thank you. Andrew is my name. And just a quick one. You earlier mentioned of the issue to do with you do not look at that to be a security concern or a security threat on the president's side. You looked at it to say maybe just the youths had scores to settle with other individuals. Do you mind maybe sharing with us who you feel the youths might have had issues with, and then it led to what happened? Then the other question is, how then do you look at the UPND media team in terms of information dissemination after this whole thing had happened?
The youth is a dicey constituency. Oftentimes, they seek audience with us leaders. Sometimes we ignore them until the whole thing blows out of proportion. I strongly feel they have some scores to settle with some local leaders. And it's high time the local leaders rendered their ear to the youth. Otherwise, the youth can easily blow up. Most of them are frustrated because they are doing nothing at the moment. And anyone can actually influence them to do wrong things.
Okay.
Some of them are involved in various vices like drinking. Even when they went to attend that meeting by the president, some of them could have been drunk. And you know, a drunk person can do anything. So I strongly feel we need to render an ear to the youth so that we hear them. If you listen carefully, the president actually realized that there is something they wanted to communicate to him. And that's why he insisted that if they had serious concern, he was actually there to dialogue with them. There was no way he was going to plead for dialogue if he did not hear them. So the president was quite alert to that. There was something being said in the background. And this is the reason I'm saying we need to pay attention to the concerns of the people as local leaders, so that our president is not subjected to undue embarrassment.
All right.
Statements can be issued. Sometimes they are issued out of context. Sometimes, probably, you want to trivialize things. Again, we really need to be careful how we issue statements, especially once a serious thing happens, like the embarrassment that the president suffered.
All right. You're closing. You're closing, Honorable,
Hello?
due to time. Your concluding remarks, and I mean it.
I want to appeal to the youth. There are always better channels to air their grievances. They should not resort to violence. And to our leaders, please learn to pay attention to the concerns that the youth are bringing to us. That way we will continue dialoguing in a proper way and avoid disrupting the peace that we suffer, we enjoy as a nation, for which we are known by other countries.
All right. Well, thank you very much, Honorable, for just having to speak to us on Lunchtime Chat.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
All right.
Good day.
All right, that was Honorable Ponde C. Mecha, who is a former member of Parliament for Chifunabuli constituency. I wish we could pick up more calls, but unfortunately we're out of time. We're just out of time. I wish we can just continue discussing this, but I think I'll read just two more text messages, and then we'll be closing with a clip where Mr. Obvious Mwaliteta said something about people who voted, and I think we've been talking about
exactly
knowing what to say.
The reactions there. We saw the honorable Mr. Mwaliteta issuing a statement to say the UPND were voted for by the 2.8 million people, and all those did not just come from Chingola. I think, we're just from talking about being very economic. In leadership, people would agitate you. So I think even when our leaders are issuing statements, I think they should be more logical than emotional, in as much as we know that, okay, what happened wasn't okay, but two wrongs don't make a right. A lot of PR is supposed to be done, because, that statement, anyways, you're going to watch it, and of course, you're going to judge and look at how the provincial chairman issued that statement, and of course you're going to judge it whether or not it was in good faith. But that's what we're going to close with.
Yeah. So as we close, we just read a few text messages, and we will leave you with that particular clip. This one says, "Sad news, you people, you should change that behavior." It came through from Loveness Mwemba, that is on Facebook. And direct text messages. This text here says, "Good afternoon. The behavior of the youth was bad. There is need for them to be punished. We thank the police for exhibiting professionalism since no life was lost." It came through from Timothy Banda. This one says, "Hey, Michael Moyo watching you from Kabanana. Vachitakuipa bantu kuchingola. Wait for 2026 to come. Nipa paka ba HH maona isio ana wuli." Okay. Oh, okay. Interesting.
Don't bite yourself.
Anyways, thank you very much for this particular text message. This one says, "That was really bad. Chingola has made itself a bad name. They should learn from our neighbors what is happening. The security wing must always know where they must sit the podium. Who was standing behind the president? Were these stones in the pockets of the youths?" Interesting. This other one says the behavior was bad. Any meaningful Zambian should not support, and those Jerabos must be treated badly in order for them to reform. The last text says the president must be respected by everyone in this country. So let that be the last warning If they do it again, let them face the law. Good afternoon, Martin from Chongwe.
All right, thank you
All
very
right.
much, Chongwe.
I think this is where we get to say our goodbyes.
Exactly.
Yeah, it has been good to hear from our viewers, and it's
It feels
good to
like
have
it's just been 10 minutes. Exactly. But
Yeah.
we've already clocked an hour. But of course, as I conclude, Thais, I would love to echo on this. This is my message to all the youths. What happened must not repeat itself. Zambia is a democratic nation, and of course we should know how we air up our grievances. And again, we should not take for granted the peace that we're enjoying. The fact that you were able to move from your place to that arena where everything was going on, let's look at that peace. And also we should keep in mind that there was bloodshed for the same peace that we are enjoying. And of course, we should not destroy it for our own personal interests and all that. That office is supposed to be respected. Just like I've been saying, we respect the office not because of who is there, but because of what it is. Regardless of who the current president is, but we need to have respect, utmost respect for the presidency.
All right. Well, this is where we say goodbye. Maybe you wanted to hear this last text message. Somebody saying, good afternoon, Thais and Andrew. My first compliment, you're presenting is on point. Best duo presenter. Coming to the topic at hand, I will speak like the other caller who said the government has to find the root cause of what happened. All right. Thank you.
Thank you so very much.
Yeah. So we leave you with this clip by Mr. Obvious Malitata. We will see you some other day. But from me, Thais and Andres, have a lovely afternoon and enjoy the peace and be peaceful.
Good afternoon.
There is no arson there. No. Arson came after stoning the president. So which one is the bigger offense? After they almost killed the president, that's when they went to burn their cars. So let's start with first the attempt on the life of the president, which is the treason. We are going to stand the way we have been with HH. We'll support him. We'll support him, and we'll be there anytime we are called. If there will be need to call us to do certain things, because we know how we protected this man. We know how we protected this man when we had cadres in police.
Yes, sir.
And this should send a signal, sir. The Inspector General of Police, you told us that there were cadres in the system, in the police system. You told us, and we are waiting to see. We were waiting to see if those cadres were removed from the system. Because if we can have that elapse, and we have the system on the ground, then the system is compromised. I don't want to, but we have not come to harm you. We have just looked at you. Oh, okay, this is the route you want to take. Take it. Our media, thank you very much. This was a short briefing. We just wanted to stand by with our president and our colleagues in the Copper Belt. We are very sad as the capital city of the country that we can expose our president to mafias. Those are mafias. Those were criminals who wanted to kill the president. Those were criminals who wanted to kill the president. We ask the police that we have requested you to amend the charge from arson to treason. And also we want you to go and investigate thoroughly until we are satisfied ourselves. Yes. Failure to which we request that we do the investigation ourselves. Because we know them. They are social media, they are photos on the social media. Yes. We know them. TikTok. Yes. We know them. We know where they are. So, but we expect you to be more professional and bring them to book. Lusaka province, HH, we've told you, HH is our capital. HH, capital. Waikatako, Wapia. Don't touch him. He's got a lot of children. Don't touch him. Don't touch him. Yes. Don't touch a church. Imagine on Saturday, Banda, we were overwhelmed with the 8 buses they want to go to Copper Belt. Imagine if we had come there. 15,000 youths wanted to go to Copper Belt. We had to stop them. They look, the president. If you need to recommend the president. After an attempt on his life, as a commander-in-chief, would have ushered the police and start spraying bullets to people. He said no. So I told the youth, Banda, if the president cannot allow a live bullet to those who wanted to kill him, what